Let me say something that's going to bother some people. Most investors think the risk in a deal is interest rates, vacancy, repairs, or whether a lender will approve it. And that's not the real risk. The real risk, the one that quietly kills deals a year later, is refinance risk. And what's dangerous is that refinance risk almost never shows up in the spreadsheet the way people model deals today. So in this video, I want to break down what refinance risk actually is, why it's being massively underestimated right now, and how creative finance and high leverage amplify it, and also how I personally evaluate refinance risk before I ever care about structure. If you understand this, you'll avoid deals that look good today, but collapse later. When most investors analyze a deal, they focus on front-end risk. Can I close it? Does the DSCR work today? Will the lender say yes? And can I get it in with low cash? These are execution questions, important but incomplete, because a deal that closes easily can still be a future failure. Most deals don't die in year one, they die at year 3, 5, or at the balloon, and that's where refinance risk lives. Refi risk is simple in concept, but brutal in reality. Refi risk is the risk that you need to refinance and cannot refinance on terms that keep the deal alive. This happens when values don't grow the way you assumed, rates are higher than expected, or cash flow isn't strong enough, LTV is too high, or lender criteria has changed. And here's the key point. Refi risk is not theoretical, it's structural. If your deal requires a refinance to survive, that refinance better be nearly guaranteed. Why does creative finance amplify refi risk? Creative finance doesn't cause refi risk, but it amplifies it. And here's how. When you stack high leverage, seller carry, deferred payments, balloons, or thin cash flow, you're essentially saying this deal works as long as the future cooperates. That's not a plan, that's a bet. A Morby style deal, seller carry deal, or an entity wipe structure can be perfectly valid mechanically and still be extremely fragile. Why? Because many of them rely on a refinance at a specific time, a specific valuation, a specific LTV, or under assumptions that may not hold. The more creative the structure, the more precision the future requires, and the future is rarely precise. Let me walk through the big ones I see over and over, and we'll talk through these. Number one, assuming appreciation. Appreciation is a bonus. It's not a strategy. If your refi only works if the values go up meaningfully, that risk is not upside. Number two, ignoring exit LTV, loan to value. People model entry loan to value obsessively, but they don't model the exit loan to value, the refi DSCR at that time, and refi rates. A deal that closes at 80% LTV, but refi is 75% LTV with lower NOI can fall quietly. Number three, underestimating lender tightening. I'm sure you've been there if you've been in real estate long enough. Lenders change rules all the time. What works today may not work in a downturn, in a rate spike, or after one bad credit cycle. If your deal only works under today's guidelines, that is fragile. And number four, balloon math denial. If there's a balloon, the refi is not optional. Pretending you'll figure it out later is not a strategy, and that is avoidance. So why break-even deals are especially dangerous? This ties directly to something I've said in other episodes. Break-even deals are dangerous because they don't build margin, they don't absorb shocks, and they don't improve refi position over time. If your deal barely covers debt, barely grows NOI, and barely improves the loan to value, then time is not helping you, time is actually working against you. Inflation, maintenance, capital needs, and market shifts all compound while your refi position stays weak. So how do I personally evaluate refi risk? Here's my personal filter. Before I care about structure, creativity, or cash in, I ask these questions. I should probably get a bigger whiteboard. Number 1. If nothing improves, does this deal survive? It's my first question. Number 2. If the rates are higher, does the refi still work? Number 3. If the values flatten, do I still have an exit? And number 4, is the refi a choice or a requirement? If the refinance is required for survival, the deal better be low leverage, strong cash flow, and conservative on assumptions. Otherwise, I pass. Not because the structure is wrong, but because the timeline risk is unacceptable. So here's the takeaway. Most investors obsess over closing risk. Experienced operators obsess over refinance risk. Because the deal doesn't end at closing, that's just where the clock starts. If this video changed how you think about deals, great, that's the point. If you're working through a deal right now and unsure whether the refi risk is real or just hidden, that's exactly the kind of thing I help investors unpack. And I'll see you in the next episode. If you need help, hit me up on my website, chadchoquette.com, or on Instagram.